Dakota stepped into the cage carrying more than just her gloves and her preparation. She carried the weight of words spoken long before the fight, words meant to unsettle her and shake her confidence. Her opponent had boldly stated in an interview that she intended to knock Dakota out in the second round. The statement, meant as a provocation, lingered in Dakota's mind during the lead-up to the bout. When asked about it, Dakota admitted that the knockout prediction had been on her mind, and she admitted, with quiet confidence, that she intended to do the same to her adversary. When pressed on when she believed she might achieve it, she had confidently responded, "Second round." Beyond the immediate competitive fire, Dakota also reflected on what this fight meant in the larger arc of her career. It was only her second fight under the banner of a major promotion, yet she had been granted a spot on a significant card featuring finalists competing for a £1 million prize. For an athlete so early in her career, this was a milestone, a tangible acknowledgement that her skills and determination were being recognized. Being featured on the undercard of such a prestigious event was not merely an opportunity. It was a statement, a chance to demonstrate to fans, critics, and the sport itself that she belonged at the highest level. While she wanted to approach the fight as she would any other, she understood the stakes were higher, not just for her career trajectory but also for the impression she would make on a U.S. audience for the first time. Her previous fight had lasted less than a round, leaving little for fans to analyze or appreciate, and she wanted this fight to reveal the depth of her skill set, the breadth of her technique, and her strategic intelligence inside the cage. As the bell rang and the fighters stepped forward, it was immediately clear that the months of preparation, mental conditioning, and anticipation would be tested fully. Dakota faced Shauna Bannon, an accomplished athlete from SBG Dublin. The tension in the arena was palpable, not just because of the fight itself but because of the narrative leading into it. Each strike, each step, and each feint was amplified by the pre-fight rhetoric. Bannon, known for her aggressive style and resilience, had built a reputation in the IMAF tournaments across Europe and at the World Championships. Observers had noted her ability to combine technical skill with aggression, often overwhelming opponents with pace and intensity. Fans familiar with her work expected an aggressive back and forth, and yet Dakota's opening movement immediately asserted control. She moved to the center of the cage, establishing the distance that allowed her reach and timing to dominate the exchanges. From the very first jab, Dakota sent a clear message. She was not intimidated, she was prepared, and she would dictate the fight's tempo. The first round demonstrated the strategic contrast between the fighters. Dakota's approach was methodical, using her long reach to manage distance and avoid unnecessary risks. She landed clean jabs that snapped Bannon's head back, establishing early dominance. Bannon, in contrast, remained light on her feet, attempting to find openings with swift kicks and fast footwork. Though she managed to connect with a few low kicks, Dakota's precision, timing, and control of the cage consistently thwarted Bannon's advances. The round ended with Dakota in clear command, having successfully imposed her strategy and demonstrated that she could control not only the physical space in the cage but also the psychological dynamic of the fight. By asserting control early, Dakota minimized the effect of Bannon's aggression, forcing her to play catch-up and disrupting the rhythm she had likely planned for the opening rounds. As the second round commenced, Bannon attempted to recalibrate her strategy. She sought to push the pace, attempting to break through Dakota's carefully maintained range with body kicks and combinations aimed at destabilizing her opponent. She connected with a few strikes, but Dakota's counters were crisp, immediate, and strategically devastating. Early in the round, Dakota landed a clean 1-2 combination that halted Bannon's forward momentum, showcasing her ability to respond instantly to aggression while maintaining technical form. A knee to the body followed, landing with precision and visible impact, demonstrating Dakota's evolving mastery of mixed martial arts techniques beyond the striking fundamentals she had initially relied upon. Clinch exchanges became a central feature of the round, with Bannon demonstrating notable strength in holding Dakota against the cage. Her corner, led by seasoned coach Paddy Holohan, encouraged her to pursue takedown opportunities, to manipulate Dakota's balance, and to force positions where she could capitalize on leverage. Even when pressed against the fence, Dakota remained effective, landing knees to the thigh and executing transitions that allowed her to maintain positional advantage. By the end of the second round, Dakota had not only landed the cleaner strikes but had also maintained composure and strategic discipline, further solidifying her lead. By the third round, the intensity escalated. Bannon, recognizing the need to shift the trajectory of the fight, increased her aggression, throwing combinations, pushing forward with urgency, and attempting to disrupt Dakota's measured approach. She sought to create chaos, to force Dakota into exchanges where raw aggression might prevail over precision. Yet Dakota's composure remained unshaken. Her footwork allowed her to circle out of danger, her counters punished overextensions, and her strategic awareness ensured that even in the tightest clinches, she retained control. There were moments in which Dakota nearly secured her opponent's back, and though Bannon managed to evade these opportunities, the exchanges demonstrated Dakota's growing capability in grappling transitions and positional control. The third round highlighted the balance of technical skill and mental discipline. Bannon's aggression pressed forward, testing limits, but Dakota's calm precision consistently dictated outcomes. The fight, which had begun with contrasting energies and strategies, now entered a phase where patience, timing, and adaptability became decisive factors. The fourth round further emphasized Dakota's technical superiority, even as both fighters began to experience fatigue. Her jab remained a central tool, repeatedly penetrating Bannon's guard and setting up combinations that targeted multiple areas, including the body and legs. Bannon returned to her kicking strategy, aiming to regain momentum with dynamic attacks, including side kicks and spinning strikes. However, Dakota's defensive awareness and ability to counter effectively neutralized these attempts. She managed distance with subtle footwork, turned defensive positions into offensive opportunities, and continued to punish Bannon with knees and short-range strikes whenever space permitted. The fourth round also showcased Dakota's ability to combine striking with positional control, frequently securing wrist control and targeting arms for leverage during clinches. Even when Bannon escaped these attempts, Dakota maintained her composure and continued to dictate the pace. By the conclusion of the round, it was evident that Dakota's control was expanding, her confidence growing with each successful exchange, and Bannon's need for a decisive turning point becoming increasingly urgent. The fifth round, the final stretch of this demanding contest, became a showcase of heart, endurance, and technical mastery. Bannon came out aggressively, knowing that she needed a dramatic shift to influence the outcome. She employed high kicks, spinning techniques, and rushing combinations, attempting to overwhelm Dakota. Yet Dakota remained disciplined, responding strategically to each attempt. One of the most memorable sequences involved Dakota securing a Muay Thai plum, driving Bannon backward with a knee to the body that reverberated through the cage. The control and precision displayed in this moment underscored her growing mastery of mixed martial arts beyond pure striking. Bannon, despite absorbing significant strikes, continued pressing forward, displaying remarkable resilience. She sought to re-establish clinch positions deliberately, likely attempting to limit Dakota's striking opportunities and regain positional leverage. However, Dakota's head control, ability to maintain posture, and strategic use of knees and short-range strikes allowed her to retain dominance. In the final moments, Dakota landed a sharp right hand, further sealing the outcome and emphasizing the technical edge she had maintained throughout the fight. Bannon's refusal to concede until the final bell reflected her indomitable spirit and mental toughness, despite the evident gap in performance throughout the contest. When the bell finally rang, the judges delivered a unanimous decision victory in Dakota's favor. The decision reflected not merely the number of strikes landed or the positional exchanges, but the broader narrative of control, precision, and consistent strategic superiority across 5 intense rounds. Dakota's victory demonstrated her technical acumen, her ability to manage pressure, and her capacity to adapt mid-fight. Yet in the weeks following the bout, a surprising revelation emerged. Bannon had been approximately 7 weeks pregnant at the time, unbeknownst to herself. This disclosure provided context for certain anomalies observed during the fight, including unusual fatigue, slower reactions, difficulty with her weight cut, and diminished sharpness in certain exchanges. Competing professionally while unknowingly pregnant added an extraordinary layer of physical and mental challenge, and yet Bannon's determination to compete, despite the hidden circumstances, revealed a remarkable level of grit, resilience, and mental fortitude. The insight also highlighted Dakota's ability to dominate under conditions that demanded precision, patience, and adaptability, reinforcing her status as a rising star in the sport. Beyond the technical breakdown and narrative of the fight itself, this contest represented a broader story of ambition, preparation, and personal growth. Dakota's journey leading up to this moment involved not only physical training but also the cultivation of mental resilience, strategic thinking, and the ability to manage both external expectations and internal pressures. Bannon's role, too, was significant. Her aggressive style, resilience, and determination provided a foil that tested Dakota at every turn, forcing adjustments and exposing areas of development. The fight thus became a reflection of what mixed martial arts, at its highest level, represents: a contest of skills, willpower, and strategic intellect, where preparation meets unpredictability and each moment carries weight far beyond the physical exchanges themselves. Considering the fight in the larger arc of a career, one sees how each bout contributes to long-term development. Dakota's evolution from a talented striker to a more complete mixed martial artist was evident in the integration of footwork, striking variety, and clinch control. Observers noted how her ability to maintain composure, manage distance, and exploit openings reflected training under a diverse set of coaches, including experts in wrestling, grappling, and jiu-jitsu. The environment in which she trained, enriched by high-level athletes and mentors, allowed her to integrate different disciplines into a cohesive fighting style, capable of responding dynamically to opponents with varying skill sets. Meanwhile, Bannon's performance, despite her physical challenges, highlighted the importance of heart, resilience, and mental toughness in professional competition. Her insistence on competing, her strategic attempts to regain control, and her endurance under duress demonstrated that even under extraordinary circumstances, determination and courage remain defining traits of a martial artist. The fight also illuminates the interplay between physical skill and psychological preparation. Dakota's ability to manage the pressure of pre-fight provocations, maintain focus under the scrutiny of a large audience, and adapt her strategy round by round exemplifies the mental component of elite performance. Similarly, Bannon's courage, even unknowingly compromised by pregnancy, underscores the significance of mental resilience, adaptability, and determination. Both athletes, in their own ways, exemplified the principle that mixed martial arts is not only a test of physical capability but also a measure of mental fortitude, strategy, and composure under extreme conditions. This duality, the balance of body and mind, reflects the essence of the sport at its highest levels. Finally, the broader philosophical reflection on the trajectory of life and career emerges naturally from this contest. When contemplating the next 16 years, one confronts questions of purpose, direction, and long-term impact. In the context of a fighting career, these considerations translate into choices about growth, skill development, and personal evolution. Yet they extend beyond the sport, touching on existential questions about integrity, readiness, and the way one approaches challenges. Dakota's statement, "Get ready to meet God," functions as a reminder that life, much like professional competition, is finite and demands preparation, not only in tangible achievements but also in moral and personal readiness. Success, resilience, and mastery, whether in the cage or in life, require discipline, awareness, and a consistent willingness to grow and adapt. The fight between Dakota and Bannon thus becomes emblematic, not only of a particular contest but of a philosophy of life that emphasizes preparation, courage, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of one's highest potential. Across the span of 5 rounds, with every jab, kick, clinch, and knee, Dakota demonstrated a convergence of preparation, skill, and mental fortitude. Bannon, despite extraordinary personal circumstances, exhibited courage, resilience, and unyielding determination. The fight itself, while a victory for Dakota in the record books, also serves as a testament to the complexity, unpredictability, and human depth of mixed martial arts as a discipline. Each moment in the cage, each decision and reaction, reflects a larger narrative about preparation, adaptation, and the intersection of physical and psychological excellence. It exemplifies the ongoing journey of athletes who continuously strive to better themselves, manage challenges, and execute strategy under pressure, all while remaining true to their individual vision of success. As fans, observers, and fellow athletes reflect on this contest, several key lessons emerge. First is the value of technical preparation. Dakota's ability to dictate distance, maintain composure, and integrate striking and clinch work demonstrates the effectiveness of disciplined training, adaptability, and thoughtful strategy. Second is the importance of resilience. Bannon's persistence under extraordinary circumstances highlights the role of courage, heart, and mental toughness in achieving personal goals and confronting adversity. Third is the significance of perspective. Understanding that every bout is part of a larger journey, where victories and challenges alike contribute to growth, skill development, and self-awareness, informs not only athletic pursuits but broader life trajectories. Finally, the narrative encourages reflection on personal purpose, readiness, and the long-term cultivation of one's potential, emphasizing that success is as much about preparation, reflection, and personal integrity as it is about immediate outcomes or accolades. In summary, the fight between Dakota and Shauna Bannon was more than a contest of physical skill. It was a multi-layered demonstration of technical mastery, mental resilience, and personal growth. Dakota emerged victorious through precision, composure, and strategic acumen, while Bannon displayed heart, toughness, and determination under circumstances that few could fully appreciate at the time. Beyond the immediate victory, the fight exemplified the integration of preparation, adaptability, and the continuous pursuit of excellence, both in martial arts and in life. The narrative invites broader reflection on personal development, long-term planning, and readiness to meet challenges, underscoring that the lessons from the cage extend far beyond the arena. Dakota's performance and Bannon's courageous persistence together create a story that resonates across the physical, psychological, and philosophical dimensions of human endeavor, offering insight into what it means to strive, to endure, and to grow over the years ahead. Every exchange, every strike, every moment of tactical decision-making contributes to a larger understanding of discipline, resilience, and purpose, reinforcing the notion that preparation, courage, and integrity define not only a fighter's success but also the broader journey of life itself. Each athlete, in her own way, demonstrated that excellence is never singularly defined by outcome alone, but is instead a measure of preparation, heart, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of mastery in the face of adversity. Dakota's victory stands as a testament to technical precision, strategic intelligence, and mental fortitude, while Bannon's performance exemplifies grit, courage, and determination, creating a narrative that both inspires and educates. It is a story of growth, resilience, and preparation for the future, emphasizing that the fight, while concluded inside the cage, carries lessons that extend far beyond, touching on life's larger journey, the cultivation of personal excellence, and the pursuit of one's highest potential over the years to come. Through this contest, one sees clearly the intersection of talent, discipline, mental toughness, and purposeful growth, a convergence that defines not only elite athletes but also the broader human capacity for achievement, reflection, and transformation.